Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 3. And today I'm gonna be giving you part 4 of What If Naruto Was from a demonic clan with OP abilities. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other channels. Yes, I indeed have 4 of them which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And don't forget to comment down below and tell me if you're new. And also turn on the bell notification to see exactly when I post, because I do post a lot. I already posted a brand new episode of What If Naruto Became the new God of Apocalypse over Anime King. So go ahead and enjoy that guys. So without further ado, what do you say we jump right into this? Begin now guys. So the last time we left off, Naruto's older brother by 2 years, Menma, arrived on the bridge. As everyone watched as Naruto was hit with multiple small knives that seemed to end him right there and then, until he came out of Menma's shadow and they started the battle. What followed was something so intense, something so fast paced that the competence of the bridge could not keep up with one bit. They were moving so fast. Everything about them was just over what they expected. Zabuza and Haku had never seen two Uzumakis fight before. Kakashi neither. None of them have. So this was a rare sight to see, as they clashed against one another rather violently. Despite the both of them literally being brothers, they did not seem to hold anything back. That was until they stopped on the bridge. Both of Naruto blades were broken. It was the swords that Menma had. Naruto blades were strong, but not as strong as Menma's swords it seems. As Naruto reached behind him for something, the blade that he kept on his lower back, Menma told him that if he was going to use that, everyone here would die, and he knew that he would not do that, so he should not encourage anything that he would not try. As Naruto simply looked at him before releasing said blade, Kakashi was shocked when he heard Naruto say that they should stop the warm-up. The warm-up. So all of this was a warm-up. The man was shocked to hear that. As both of them started to release a strange aura, this was not chakra, it was something else. Something twisted, something vile. As majority of the members of the bridge collapsed, Natsumi was affected by it. As the Kyuubi's cloak started to cover her body, the rage, the fear, the hate, the malice, the fox chakra was drawn to it, and it was being brought out. She was losing control as the other members collapsed. That is when he arrived, Gato to be more precise, as they released the power that they were releasing a moment ago. Mito fell unconscious soon after. The only ones that were left were Zabuza and Kakashi to watch the scene in front of them. Both men seemed physically and mentally exhausted after what just happened. Gato broke the deal, and that is something that you just not do with the Uzumaki. As both Naruto and Menma walked forward, what followed was nothing but a one-sided massacre. They slaughtered without any hesitation. They reap, they tore, they kill. It was violent and terrible. Kakashi was glad that his team was passed out so they would not witness this sight. He knew that Natsumi and Naruto had begun a friendship, but she would have seen him in a whole new light if she saw what he did here today. But that friendship could not last given who she was and given who he was. Kakashi knew that. That is why he had listed down everything that he heard over Naruto's duration of staying here. Everything that he heard. As Menma stepped forward and placed a hand on Gato's chest, the man was petrified and afraid as Menma sucked something out of him, a small orb. Gato's body broke apart like it had nothing left to sustain it. as his body was blown away by the wind, the ashes that is. As Menma clenched his fist, the orb vanishing, Kakashi was not sure what that was. Some time later, Natsumi finally came to. As she had woken up, she rushed downstairs as she saw that Naruto was there. He told her that everything was fine, and Hakuo had wake up before her, gave him a message to give her. He was glad that they did not have to kill each other. And maybe they could even be friends when they meet again. Natsumi was happy to hear that, as she wanted to know what happened as Naruto gave her the basic rundown of what happened, leaving out some of the gory details out of it. They remained at Land of Wave, Naruto remaining with them for some time. Natsumi had asked what happened to his brother, but Naruto told her that he was gone. With that said and done, a week went by and the bridge was finally built. As Naruto went to talk to Tsunami, telling her that he will visit. This was something that he could never forget. That made her blush as the thoughts of the both of them spending nights together. It revolved in her mind over and over. So with that, they headed back to Konoha. The trip there was mostly silent, Natsumi talking to Naruto, as she had become good friends with him. Sasuke was curious how strong he was. Kakashi, just watching the whole scene, Sakura grateful that this guy was there to save them in the events that everything went to hell. So with that, they finally arrived back at the village. As Naruto had disappeared the moment they reached the gates, he went and he spoke to Minato about what happened. As Minato paid him, and Naruto left. Natsumi came in a moment later to see her father asking where Naruto was. The moment she was given the go-ahead, she left. Kakashi was the one to debrief Minato about everything, as Naruto seemed to be rather important in the food chain of the Uzumakis. They still did not know much about the clan. It was a mystery, even to this day, even though they've been here for a long time now. Yes, it was a huge mystery. So with that, Kakashi told him everything. Minato did not like this one bit. He could not have his daughter to build some kind of trusting relationship with a Uzumaki. Not that Minato despised the boy or anything, but his name alone brought forward chaos. Chaos everywhere Uzumaki was reigning. As Natsumi went out, Naruto was the one to find her as he spoke to her. He told her that he will return back to the village as they walked towards the gate. As he told her about Chunin exams, he believed that she would be participating despite her saying that she just became a genin. But he told her that she was underestimating herself. She now had two told him in her eyes she did feel stronger, but still, wasn't that a stretch, she thought to herself. As Naruto tapped her on the forehead and said goodbye before he vanished. As Naruto was in the land of fire, his brother emerged out of a strange animal. It was like a vortex. As Menma spoke to him, their mother wanted him back. There was someone out there, someone in this part of the world that would use whatever they could to get Naruto in order to leverage him against the Uzumakis. Someone that was once a Uzumaki, but no more. That is why they didn't want him to be out here, especially his mother, as Naruto had run away, leaving his guards, the one that usually come with him, but he didn't want that because he didn't want to be bound to anything. Naruto sighed as he decided that he will come back. It was a good thing that it wasn't his sister that had came after him. If that was the case, she would have dragged him back regardless. He would have to fight her. As they took a boat, it took them some time to get there. As they nodded to the boatman as they got off, the Uzumaki line was blocked by dozens of high trees. As the gate had pushed open a massive stone gate, Naruto had to duck as an axe slammed into the tree behind him. His mother knew that he was here, and she was pissed. So yeah guys, basically let's play tough. You guys can switch across the play for yourself. So this way we jump right into this. Begin now guys. We begin this new episode at Konoha. Mikoto Uchiha, mother of Natsumi, wife of Minato Namikaze, was currently looking down towards her daughter. There was sadness on her face. Her daughter was asleep. The reason why she was upset was because she heard about her daughter's new friend. Natsumi had talked to her about Naruto. When she heard the word Uzumaki, she tried not to let it show on her face. Her being a part of the once mighty Uchiha clan, clans more knew about the other clans out there. The Uzumaki was not just a clan though. It was an entire different world. They live in a different sector. It was like they were not a part of the elemental nation because they were not. From the way things were set, they were not a part of the elemental nation. The name Uzumaki over here brought nothing but darkness. In the past, rumors circulate that the Uzumakis fought the entire elemental nation and they won. And they came to a truce with the leaders of that time. And in that truce, the word of what happened should not be spoken. Years had passed and many people remember a lot of bloodshed. However, the ones that did knew about it were tight-lipped. So barely any information came out about that, even going down into the lines of Kages, just to show what happened back there was truly vicious. She saw that look in her daughter's eyes, something that she had when she first met Minato. And yes, there was a lot of problems, her being a part of the Uchiha clan. They did not want her to marry outside the clan. However, they made it work. It was hard, but they still made it work. Until chaos. But this is no time to talk about that right now. The topic was Uzumaki's. Her daughter clearly liked this boy. Even if it started out as a friendship. Something would bloom from this, she saw it. In her little girl's eyes. And she did not want to put Natsumi in danger. She was already a special girl. An Uchiha. And a Jinjulki as well. She was a very special girl. The moment her existence is fully aware by the outside world, it would already be strenuous on her name. There would be a lot of strain. And things would become worse if her associating with a Uzumaki is well known. Uzumakis did not have ties to anyone. That is why no one could ever hold anything over them. Well, even if someone tried, that person did not last for too long. But still, she did not want her daughter to be the catalyst of another war if something might happen. However, telling her daughter to stay away from him would just cause more problem. Natsumi was as headstrong as her, and yet calm as her father as well. She sighed. Right now she was having a difficult time, concerned what to do, but she was going to talk with Minato and find out exactly what is fully going on. Time skip. Away from the elemental nation, locked away inside of a dungeon, was Naruto. This might seem a bit over dramatic for just running away. Well, it might not seem that way in certain ideals, but still. Naruto was tied down in a dark cell, walls of powerful metals in front of him. He was on the ground. His hands were tied. His legs were tied as well, as he was in a spread eagle motion. There was a metal bar around his waist that were locked together. Everything about him was secured as he was stuck in this position. This was a means of torture. Well, a time torturing thing. He's been down here for 2 days, without any food or water. His mother was punishing him. She told him that she was gonna lock him here for an entire week. One would think that she's gone crazy and she was trying to kill him, but Uzumakis did not need food or water as a normal human. Another reason why they were so special. Their bodies undergo changes after their ritual. Yes, there is a ritual that each Uzumakis have been successful in passing because of their strong blood. As Naruto lay there, it made him thought about the history of the Uzumaki clan. There was a few bruises and scratch on him. He was not healing because his room prevented him from doing so. By any means. It also weakened him greatly as well. This room was special. When he arrived, his mother had hunted him down. When she finally caught him, she attacked him like he thought. He fought back, of course. However, there was a reason why his father had not come down here to protest against his punishment. His mother was a very sadistic person. By the word, she was. As she was not someone to be trifled with. She was a very dangerous and sadistic woman. Naruto knew the implications of running away, but he did not care. After all, she would break before he does. As much as she was sadistic, she also loved him. He was the baby of the family, the youngest. He had an older brother and an older sister, and he was the youngest. So he knew that any time now she would break. She would not leave him down here for a week. Anyway, his mind was recollecting everything. The Uzumakis were not a part of the elemental nation. There was a gigantic ocean that split the two lands. It took a very long time to cross that ocean. Yes, it did. But even if you did cross that ocean, and you were not given authorization to enter on this land platform, you would be killed. Members were always watching, even if you managed to surpass those members and get into the forest. Beasts that could not be described as animal. They were beasts. Monstrous beasts would rip you apart. Even if you somehow got past those beasts, you could not open the gigantic stone walls. So that is why no one has managed to infiltrate the Uzumakis for centuries now. The Uzumakis were advanced more than the elemental nation. For one thing, they had phones. They had technology that the elemental nation did not have. There was a reason for that. A long time ago, a woman known as Kaguya Osusuke. History of the Uzumakis had been kept through ages, so they knew everything. A woman known as Kaguya Osusuke came to this planet. Back then, this planet had no power. Yes, it did not. It did not have any chakra, or ninchu, as they might call it. That woman had 3 kids. 3 kids with an earthling. As those kids were half alien, after all, she was a being from another universe. 2 of them were born with white hair, but one of them was born with red hair. He was different from his brothers. The red hair individual known as Hiroshi Osusuke was different. He could see things that his brothers could not. His mother found him to be an oddity, even to her. He was born strange. His life was different. He somehow got abilities that seemed supernatural in terms of what he could see, what he could feel, what he could hear. He was bonded to something else other than chakra, even though he did have chakra. It was a once in a lifetime occurrence that might never happen again. Eventually though, their mother went mad, so they fought her, all 3 of them. Hiroshi, along with his 2 other brothers, Hamura and Hagoromo, took down their mother. Hiroshi forsake his last name, believing that it would just bring back memories of his mother. His brothers had a different goal in mind, but he too had a different goal. He wanted more people like him. He knew that his brothers never understand him. No one did. So he ventured out, and he got a new last name. It was from the woman that he met. A tribe. A small tribe known as the Uzu tribe. He lived with those people for some time, learning their ways. These people did not gravitate to chakra like many others. These people were in touch with spirits. They were able to harness the power of spirits before Kaguya even came to the earth. Their ancestors before them. It was there that Hiroshi found out about himself. What he truly was. Where his connection lay with spirits. Hiroshi could dive into the spirit realm. Yes, a realm that most people nowadays could not even hope to enter. A realm of twisted, dark fantasies and reality-bending things that most people could not even dream of. This group was attacked by a radical group of people that were trying to upstage everything with their newfound chakra. He only got back in time after a trip to save one person. the daughter of the leader of the tribe, a girl that he had recently developed feelings for. Enraged, Hiroshi slaughtered all the men, and he broke into the spirit realm once again in his rage, by accident, awakening something very dark and twisted, something that was in nightmares. Hiroshi had taken her and left. Her name was Araya. Him and Araya left. They took across the seas, getting away from this part of the land, where they came across a settlement empty and devoid of life. A place that Hiroshi settled down with her. But it was not as empty as they thought. The people out here were more uncivilized than the rest of the nation. They were just a part of nature, a part of world. They barely wear clothing. Hiroshi managed to make contact with these people. Him and his newfound wife, after a couple months flew by, had their first child. That is when it happened. The spirit that he had drawn upon when he had entered the spiritual world had taken claim to the child, saying that, in his rage, he awakened the spirit, and now it was here, for the child. Hiroshi fought it, a spiritual battle that would shake the very nation, the very world, but because of the spirit realm, the world was safe. In the end though, the spirit still managed to possess the child, but not as they expected. Its body was weakened, so it tried to possess the child, but the strength of the child, being the son of Hiroshi, was able to dominate it even as a baby. As time passed, his son grew and had a child of his own with the people of this land that had learned to become more civilized because of Hiroshi and his wife. And the same thing happened. More spirits tried to take the child, believing that it was their right because Hiroshi had started it. However, Hiroshi was able to make a contact with the leader of these spirits, the strongest one. A battle they did. A wager. The winner of this wager, if Hiroshi win, the spirits would no longer come after his family. If the spirit win, it would continue. Hiroshi had no other way. He couldn't allow generations after generations to suffer this plight because of him. So they fought. The battle shook the very grounds of the spirit world and this island as well. It was catastrophic. In the end, Hiroshi died, but the spirit died as well. So it was a draw. However, what happened was all the other spirits, countless of them, saw what happened. They were shocked. In the spirit world, the spirits, they knew of their existence, but life was empty for them. They could not feel much. They could not experience much. The leader of the spirits, taking the title by its overwhelming mass and power, despite never exercising such power, and for the first time that he fought, he enjoyed every single moment of it, to relish in being alive. Despite their life, they were basically sentient beings with no mobility, no movement, no exploring nature. So, the son of Hiroshi made a deal with the remainders, as they also wanted this deal as well, to allow a spirit to be bonded with each of the Uzumakis. Their bodies were probably the only ones that could handle what came with it. The son of Hiroshi, Haruto. Haruto had went to the spirit realm to understand why they wanted to bond with the humans outside. He thought that they wanted to try and do something to the human realm, but he saw that it was nothing like that. They wanted to understand and feel and understand the emotions of what human being was like. So he did make a contract with the second strongest there, and their bodies fused. It gave Haruto unimaginable power. And down in time, Every time a Uzumaki was born, a spirit was chosen for him or she, not by the spirit choice. However, there was a bond created by Naruto that allowed the body of a Uzumaki to find the perfect spirit, and said spirit merge with the Uzumaki that they were intended to merge with. There was always a balance. The gigantic ocean between the elemental nation as it was growing into and this land was cut. The ocean using as a divider. So the Uzumakis reign here. Children were born. They got stronger over time. Traditions of training the youngs to get stronger were made. These traditions were not normal. In terms of normal training, it was hell. At the young age of 6 years old, 10 members surround Naruto with giant metal poles and whacked him until every bone in his body was broken so that he could understand pain. The more he healed, the stronger his bones got. He was forced to walk on fire. He was forced to hold his breath underwater without any extension of chakra or anything to help him. Even if he might pass out, he would be brought back up and resuscitated. The training was hell. They put their body through a training that would make sure they were ready for anything the world has to throw at them. In the past, there was some scuffle with the Elemental Nation, trying to spread their territory, realizing the big land that was unaccommodated to them. They went to war with the Uzumakis. It was a long time, so it was hard to say who in the Elemental Nation started the war, but they were the ones that did, because the Uzumakis just didn't want anything to do with them. That war ended with the Uzumakis on top, showing their great mastery of powers that they come to grow and gain over time. A truce was set between them. A truce where the Uzumakis could offer their services to Elemental Nation's members over here. Otherwise, there would not be any Uzumakis in this land at all. But that truce, signed by all the Kagis at that time, to make sure that the lands would never go to that war ever again and see the might and what the Uzumakis had to offer. So since then, Uzumakis came over here and did work for the people over here, having brokers to call them for dangerous jobs, that they could succeed and come through on top. The Uzumaki lands were not just a family. People live over here that were non-Uzumaki. After all, the islanders that were on this land, some of them attribute did not come out with red hair, the symbol red hair, and that dot on their face, black markings anywhere. There must be a sign to show that their body was right to become a Uzumaki. If they were not born with the red hair or the markings, they were not exiled or anything like that, but they were just unable to go through with the training. They live as citizens. This place was 3 times the size of Konoha, and this was just for the Uzumakis alone. There were several other lands in this territory where there were several other leaders. However, everything fall under the Uzumaki leadership and control. Said leaders were like proxy to the Uzumakis, but they did rule over their little villages. Most of them having members that can fight. Normal fighting in terms of being a Genin or Jonin or Chonin level. They had competitions over here as well for that, but they did not call it as such. They were like police officers, and they had rank. You had rank 1, rank 2, and rank 3. 3 was the lowest and 1 was the highest. They symbolized the rank with 3 stripes on their arms, 2 higher, and 1 for the strongest in terms of the police force. So yes, it was just like the Elemental Nation, and they had criminals over here as well that tried to control and do this, do that. The only thing different from the Elemental Nation was the Uzumakis were the ones in control. Despite the 5 great nations, they did not have a supreme ruler. If a problem is great enough, the Uzumakis would intervene. But if it was not something that was A village destroyer level. Chaos, they would not even put a foot or hand forward. The police force and, well, the other members of the village could hire members of the Uzumaki clan to help them out. So the world over here was running. They had posts, electricity, they had everything greater than the elemental nation. There was a reason why it was blocked off. The trees were not the only source that were hiding everything that was going on over here. There was a gigantic veil. The moment the trees came into view, behind the trees was a gigantic veil that blocked everything from the outside world to see inside. They had airships. They had gigantic boats. They had trains. Technology over here had grown because of the use of Fuinjutsu. It allowed them to do things that elemental nation people could barely do. A long time ago, Fuinjutsu was given to the elemental nation in the treaty. The Uzumaki showing that they could coexist with them even though they won the war. Because they didn't want bloodshed and chaos all the time. Because that would just lead to so much problems that they were not willing to be apart because their world was separate. So they did hand over some of their Fuinjutsu. The elemental nation did pay, of course. And through that, the elemental nation has thrived with the Fuinjutsu that they had. But they were not anywhere close to what the Uzumakis had. Think of it as levels. The elemental nation had level 1, 2, and 3. But the Uzumaki's levels of Fuinjutsu went to 1000. That was how limited the elemental nation had. That is why they had phones. And all sort of things that the elemental nation did not even craft yet. They had computers that were state of the art. It was a well-lit civilization over here. They had normal jobs over here, just like the elemental nation, but a bit more classy. Doctors, lawyers, everything. The Uzumaki clan were basically royalty though. And Naruto was the youngest out of the 3 children that the head Uzumaki had, which being his father and mother, who was a matriarch. His mother was a matriarch of the clan, one of the most sadistic people that he knew. Well, his sister was getting there as well. Just like his mother, he thought to himself, but a bit toned down. All of his family members, cousins, brother, sister, everyone, they had a spirit with them. Some of them stronger, some of them weaker. A spirit naturally makes one's body stronger. They were gifted with enhanced sight, a boost in their metabolism, and also their regeneration as well. The thing was, naturally when a Uzumaki is born with black markings and, right here, their body are special already. They were strong, fast, even as children. Their healing rate is already advanced. When they merge with the spirit, minutes after they're born, everything about them excelled exponentially. The thing was, they had contact with their spirit. They could talk to them. However, Naruto was different. He was a different one out of all the other members. He could not talk with his spirit. He was gifted with strength and speed like the others, vision that excel many others, hearing, sight, everything, reflex. But the thing was, while he was gifted with those, he could not talk with his spirit, and that was strange. That had never happened before. The spirit did not fully awaken. The other spirits had been contacted by his father about this, but not even they knew exactly what was Naruto, deal, and the spirit. And Naruto always felt weird because of that. Each members of the Uzumaki clan achieve a chosen weapon once they graduate, reaching the level of maturity. His sister had a staff with a blade on the end. His brother had knives. Those knives that he seemed to throw, they were unending. They were not something that he could physically empty. He, on the other hand, he had a blade. The tool blade that broke when he fought Menma was something that he bought. That is why they could not held up. Menma blades could cut through anything except for another Uzumaki treasured weapon. Naruto's sword that he had. When Uzumaki is given a chosen weapon, the spirit inside of them link with said weapon, allowing it the durability and power that is needed. The thing was, Naruto blade that he had also made contact with the spirit because they tried, and it would not break. But Naruto could not control it certain times. That is why he tended to use it when no one he cared about was around. No one that he wanted to protect was too close to him because he might end up killing them as well. Because when he released it, what followed was something very catastrophic and dangerous. Naruto was cut out of his musings as he heard his cell door opening up. Took her longer than I expected, Naruto thought. The moment it fully opened, the guard, allowing her entry, she rushed inside and pulled him into a warm embrace. She was kneeling so she could hold on to him. She rubbed her cheeks against his. "I'm sorry, my beautiful baby boy," she said, "but you had to be punished. But you know that your mommy cannot leave you in here for too long." Naruto sighed as his mother was squeezing him in a death grip. "But the next time you do something like this, I will punish you even more." He knew that she would break eventually, so that is why he did not concern himself with anything. She pulled herself up and looked down towards him. Kushina Uzumaki. Bright red hair. She had 3 curves. Yes, they were like lines, but they curved over on her forehead. 3 black curves, signifying her hair and, well, the black markings. She looked down towards him as Naruto was still spread eagle. She had been a bit rough with him, but he had to learn his lesson, to not run away. If he was leaving, he had to leave with his guards. Him being the baby of the family, she doted on him a lot. Despite him being far from defenseless or, well, unable to protect himself. But there was someone out there that has been hiding from the clan for some time now. Someone that was able to escape by accident. An Uzumaki that they were trying to get rid of. He was in the elemental nation. However, if he dared to ever come after her son, she would burn everything until she found him. She will incinerate the entire elemental nation just for him alone if he ever touched her son. Her sadistic side coming out as she thought evilly. "Mom, are you okay?" Naruto asked. "Yes, honey, I'm just fine," she said. She was dressed in a beautiful green dress, green being her favorite color. His mother was a very elegant and stylish person. Her being the matriarch of the clan, she had to keep up with appearances after all. "I'm going to let you out now," she said. "It's alright," said Naruto. As he started to pull on the chain, it started to creak until it exploded. Naruto then ripped his other hand out of the other chain. Before he pulled his leg up, the other chain broke. He ripped his other leg up and it broke. He gripped onto the band around his waist and pried it open with his bare hands. Kushina clapped in delight. "You're so much stronger," she said to him, a beaming smile on her face, as Naruto pulled himself up, looking rather exhausted. "Or did you show off, trying to make your mother proud?" Before he could say anything, he was enveloped in a hug as she pressed his head against her chest. Naruto sighed. Those chains were meant to hold someone weaker than the Uzumaki. Granted, he had to put in a great deal of force because of this damn room suppressing him so much. But still, even with the suppression, Naruto's body was originally stronger than most, even for his age. Despite him unable to make contact with his spirit, he was incredibly strong. The durability and boost that he gained from his spirit was something that no one could ever explain, not even to this day. Time skip. Naruto was now properly dressed. His blade was placed away somewhere safe. His mother took it away from him. She said that she would not give him that back because she did not want him to leave. Granted, he did not need it, but it was an extension of him. Once their training was completed, the blacksmith created something special for them. The weapon that their hearts desire. They were placed inside of a strange machine where they placed their hand in a scroll. Their mind, their thoughts, their hearts. It described what weapon they were suited for. Yes, all Uzumakis could use any weapon, but the one they could use better than any was the one that they were given. So it was like an extension of them, something that was needed to bring out their full power. His brother had two blades that were on his waist at all times. Once he had those, he could create endless blades and throw them at any leader. However, once he pulled out those two blades, well, things got bad. His sister's staff was always kept shrunken because of seals on her back. She used another strange bow staff to fight with until she really gets serious. His mother was fond of axes. She had a real, powerful axe that was given to her when she was younger, but she liked to use other axes. His father had blades like him, but he had two short blades that were fast and deadly and quick. At the moment, Naruto was dressed properly, as he was wearing a black pants, a red shirt that was made of the finest silk. It was extremely expensive. His mother was someone that was flashy, and despite his best efforts, she always insists that she would be better to buy things for him, even if he did not ask. But her style was good, and Naruto liked it, and he liked red, so there was no problem. As he walked through the village, many people waved at him, different hair colors all around. The Uzumaki clan had over hundreds of members. Some of them he was related to by first cousin, second cousin. Some of them he was not fully, just by clan name, like internal family. As Naruto walked, calmly making his way, he arrived towards a gigantic building. It was like a tower, where his father resides. He was like the Hokage, but they did not call him by any title of Kage. His name was Yamamoto, Uzumaki Yamamoto, the most powerful Uzumaki. As Naruto arrived at the top level, where his father was reside, as he took the elevator, it brought him up. As he entered inside, he knocked on the door. That is when the voice spoke, "Come in." As Naruto opened the door to see his father, he had red hair that came down toward his shoulders, two bangs that came across his face. He had two swirls right above his eyebrows. He was a muscular man. His stature was large, like the Raikage. He was wearing a black shirt. The material was suede. Very fine, expensive material. Soft, black pants as well. He was not wearing any shoes on. Bare feet. His father was someone that blended with the earth. His favorite element being the earth. He liked to walk barefooted a lot of time. But their mother would not allow that, especially not outside. He had to show proper example because he was a leader after all. His father was a very serious man, but he could be rather playful for his children. He was a person that Naruto looked up to. A person that Naruto wanted to inspire to be one day. "Ah, my boy," he said, a smile on his face. "Your mother must have been really angry at you this time. I never thought that she would have kept you for so long, locked away," Yamamoto said with a smile. As Naruto walked over and sat in the couch, the office was large and spacious. His father had a desk with a computer in front of him, a few files and things on the table, the light overhead on because it was late in the evening. Walls with all sorts of decorated pictures. His mother was one that had decorated this place, given the touch of green everywhere. She really loved that color. "Yeah, she was really upset," said Naruto. "But I can bear with it." "Oh, I know you can. That is why I did not say anything." "Are you sure?" "Or perhaps you're afraid of Mom," said Naruto. Yamamoto chuckled. "Don't be so silly," he said. Maybe I should tell her that," said Naruto. "After all, you're not afraid of her, right?" "Now, let's not go rile up your mother now." Naruto chuckled at that, forcing Yamamoto to scowl at him. "Hey, Dad, I made a friend." "You did?" Yamamoto said, looking toward his son. His son always feel different. He talked to him about that personally. They share a very deep bond. It doesn't matter if he could not contact with his spirit. The other spirits were not aware of what was going on, but still, that doesn't make him any different at all. He loved him, doesn't matter what. That is why Naruto liked to run away. He liked to explore the other side of the world. Most Uzumakis did not stay in the elemental nation at all. All they did was go over there, did their job, then they returned. But he liked to explore. Yamamoto knew the dangers. It was not anyone in the elemental nation that he feared. Of course he did not fear any of them. And he did not worry about his son losing to any of them. The Kages were strong and powerful, but if his son could not handle anything, he would simply contact him. And he would go over there himself if any of them tried anything. However, there was a rogue Uzumaki, someone that was very close to the family, that Yamamoto wanted to kill. Because of his ways not aligning with theirs, treachery that has done in the past, the things that he tried to do before leaving, escaping just by the skin of his teeth. That is why his wife was so upset about Naruto not carrying his guards over there in case this rogue showed himself. But Yamamoto knew that man personally. He grew up with him after all. His own brother, Nagato. He knew that Nagato would not try to touch Naruto. Otherwise, he would start something that he was trying to avoid. This entire time he was hiding. Yes, he was hiding. But harming one of them. He would bring something upon himself that not even he could hide from. So he would keep in hiding. While they were searching for him, he was a good hider, but one day he will slip up and they will find him. And he will face judgment for the crimes that he did before fleeing like a coward. It brought a memory to Yamamoto's mind as he had his blades in his hand, staring his own brother down. He shook his head as he turned his attention back towards Naruto. "What were you saying?" he said. "I said I made a friend." Yamamoto smiled at that. Naruto had friends over here, but a lot of the people over here idolize him. They worship him because of his status, the family that he was born to. "Tell me about them," he said. As Naruto told him about Natsumi, he told his father anything. He was very close to his father as he sat and spoke with him. As him and Yamamoto share many laughs about his recent trip, Yamamoto told him to be careful though. Because of his name, he was not so sure the Hokage would advise anything too close with his daughter and him. And he asked Naruto if it was only friendship he was seeking, and Naruto said yes. He was not looking at her like that. He liked her as a friend. Yamamoto was glad to hear that. He wanted his son to be happy. Time skip. Later that night, as Naruto was walking back home, unarmed. No one would dare to attack him here after all. Or so he thought. His instincts and reflex kicked in as Naruto jumped, landing on the nearest building as he saw a red arrow embedded in the ground. It started to dissolve. As Naruto ran, another arrow stabbed into the building behind him. It started to dissolve as well. He leaped and flipped, jumping on a light post. He ran straight up it as he flipped, shooting off. Naruto landed on a building before flipping to another one. Arrows were shot at him at blinding speeds. Flipping into a tree, Naruto broke off a piece of branch as he turned and spin and threw said branch. The piece of branch flying through the air at blinding speed as he imbued it with his own power. Uzumakis, yes, they have chakra over here, but they use their chakra differently. Because of the way they were born, the way their chakra utilized with their body, the way it runs through their veins, they could control many objects with it. Not like telekinesis, but they could imbue normal objects with their chakra like he just did and threw it. Not to mention, they did not use hand signs. The younger generation started out with it, but the more older they got, their control was flawless. Another boost because of their clan background and mentality. Naruto heard a yeep as a person threw himself out of the tree and landed. As Naruto rushed towards the person, reaching out to grab the person by the neck. However, the person tilted their head and lashed out their arms and wrapped it around Naruto's waist, hugging him tight. As Naruto placed his other arm around the person's back and hugged the person back. Yes, he was about to grab her by the neck, but that was just them playing together. Her trying to attack him was just a fun game. As Naruto pulled back with a smile on his face, as he looked towards his cute little cousin. Her name was Karin Uzumaki. She had 3 dots that started right at her hairline coming down towards her forehead. She had beautiful shorts right here. She had purple eyes, dress in a purple skirt, which was her favorite, and a black t-shirt with a purple jacket over it. She had a bow and arrow in her hand, but there was no arrow. As she placed it behind her, attaching it to something. "I missed you so much," she said to him. "You're as skilled as ever," she said. "Well, did you expect anything less?" "Of course not," she said. "And I got them. 10 of them," she said. As Naruto smiled at her, when he had summoned the panda bear, he gave the panda bear the money for the mission. It was for Karin. He bought her 10 chocolate bars. They were incredibly expensive, but she liked them. He was her favorite. They had grown up together, her being only 1 year younger than him. Don't let her childlike demeanor fool you though. She's been on countless missions outside these walls. Once the Uzumaki turned 12, they graduate. If they pass through the course, that is. Younger ones would be assessed with another one on a mission, someone older. She was gifted with a bow. She used her chakra to create arrows, and the bow enhanced it. The blending, the connection of her soul. The bow was fused with her. It was unbreakable. Not that she could not fight. However, in terms of long range, she could take down a target from miles away. Her eyesight was incredible, even better than him. After all of them specialized in different areas. As Naruto walked with her, as he told her about his adventures outside. Unlike him, she could not just get up and leave. Her mother would kill her. Yes, her mother would kill her if she just ran away like that. So she loved to hear the stories that Naruto came back with. They were always awesome. As they made their way towards his residence, her delighted to hear the stories that he came back with. Because of her special talent with the bow, she was not given certain missions. Her missions were mostly assassination from a long distance, keeping anyone out of the target, from knowing anything about who hired the opposite to kill them. Because the moment her arrows hit, they dissolve. They killed and then dissolve into nothing. Her chakra simply bursting into nothingness. And her arrows can tear through anything, except for another Uzumaki's weapon. So she did not get to explore much of the Elemental Nation. To them, the Elemental Nation was a primitive place that there was a lot of fun. And their fun was chaos, yes, because of the way they were raised and grown. This place was boring most of the times. All the villages that they had come to know over the years. Yes, they had problems, sometimes they hired them, but there was different economies. His father ruled the place because there was different source of money. They had their own banks and all of that. However, missions were not something that were a lot over here. They did not get to go out and hunt someone down and put the fear of kami into them. And that is what they like to do. That is why they enjoy their little hunts and missions over the Elemental Nation. Right now his sister was on a mission because she was not here. His brother had left a day ago. After laughing at him after he was tied up. That bastard. He was enjoying it, seeing him in that state. Well, screw him, Naruto thought, as he walked with Karin, his favorite little cousin. She was rather bummed out about not being able to go. "Hey," said Naruto. "Yeah," she asks. "You want to come with me next time?" Her eyes widened. "Really?" Before her eyes then slowly returned back to normal, but what about my mom? "Well, what if I bring you on an official mission?" said Naruto. "But that's not what I know," said Naruto. "I have an idea." I'll get the official mission and I'll show it to your mother. However, we'll spend some time doing all sorts of things. Wait, we'll go off course and do other things? Yep, said Naruto. This mission will need your expertise of a, long-range specialist, but once the job is done, there's something that's gonna happen very soon in Konoha. What's that, she asked. The Chunin exams. She clapped her hands in delight. She was so happy to hear that. She hugged him as well. You're the best cousin ever. Naruto smiled down at her. If the missions were dangerous, members under the age of 16 years old had to have someone accompanying them, just in case. If things were too dangerous, like facing an entire group of missing ninjas, eliminating an entire organization that was trying to rise, because Uzumaki's guarantee a 100% successful mission. However, the more Uzumaki grow, the stronger they get. The more experience they have. The more members could be trusted. Naruto had proven himself to be trusted, but his mother, she was too overprotective. That is why she assigned a goddamn guard duty for him. She thought of him or even see him right now as a baby. His brother Menma was just 2 years older than him, but did she baby him? No. But she babied Naruto every single time. That was because he could not sync with his spirit and enter the spirit state. Yes, greater boost, but that was not important right now. But Menma could, his big sister could. Even little Karin here could do it as well, because they had contact with their spirits, but he did not. It was her way of always knowing that he was protected. Oh, and yeah, he never really had a mission when he ran away. There was no mission, he just ran away. If he had a mission now, but when they were given a mission, they were given a time frame to return. Given the mission parameters, his mother was strict about that, especially with him. That is why he ran away. It was not the first time and it would not be the last. As he looked towards Karin, it was always fun having another Uzumaki with you, but not any guards to watch over you like you were some kind of child, because he was not. So he would spend the remainder of the months here until the time was ready. Then he would leave once again, but this time on an official mission, where he will need Karin assistance. But they will actually be going to the Chunin exams. He just hoped his mother did not put it together. Otherwise, Naruto was a strong individual, yes. However, if his father, Yamamoto Uzumaki, who was said to be the strongest Uzumaki, was afraid of his sadistic mother, that should tell you that everyone should be afraid of her. Extremely so. Time skip. At Konoha, it was finally the big day. A bright smile on her face as she just said goodbye to her mom. As she finally arrived, to see her two teammates waiting. Her mind instantly running on Naruto. He was right. He said that she was underestimating herself. She was stronger than she think. And he was right. It brought a smile to her face. She was in the exams. Kakashi had given them form a week ago. Told them to be prepared for what is to come. Her father told her to do her best. So here they were. Her cousin, her teammate Sakura, all of them ready. As they marched inside. Natsumi, she was going to ace this. There was no doubt about that. Meanwhile, that was going on. Orochimaru of the Sannin was in Konoha. One might ask, what the hell was he doing here? However, he was here for something. And that was Sasuke Uchiha. Orochimaru would not dare to go after the daughter of Minato. That would just bring death to his doorstep. The man would try to find him, tear apart this entire land if he had to. Orochimaru wanted Sasuke. Yes, and he will have him. He was gonna mark him. However, if everything goes as planned, Orochimaru would get what he wants. Everyone knows that the Sand had been going down in terms of their revenue. The reason for this was Konoha was gaining majority of the missions. And if there was something that was too dangerous, it would be to the Uzumakis to do it. Nations were hiring Uzumakis more often. The sand was losing hard. In a moment of weakness, Raza came to Orochimaru after Orochimaru had found a way for them to contact. Orochimaru made him a promising proposal. He had to show the man a lot, including his work with the Edo Tensei, reviving the dead. Yes. To kill Minato no Mikaze. The first, the second, and the third as well. That was the only way he saw fit of doing so. Raza, seeing this amount of power and force he had, he wanted to agree. So he did. However, as the time drags on, Orochimaru saw the man pulling back. He started to understand the gravity of the situation. Yes, he might have had the Hokages, but Konoha was still a force to be reckoned with. Even with their combined force of the sand and the sound, Raza was getting unsure. Orochimaru knew that sooner or later the man will try and pull back. That is why he was going to kill him and take his mantle and use his people as his pawn to get what he wanted. So by the end of this, Sasuke Uchiha will be his no matter what. The reason why he did not go after Minato's daughter was because he did not want the man actively after him. If he marked Sasuke, yes, they would search for him, but they would try to get rid of the mark of Sasuke. But the thing was, Orochimaru made it in a way where they could not. He knew that Minato was good with Fuinjutsu, a master. However, their mastership and Uzumaki mastership was too far, but the Elemental Nation believed that Minato was a master, but that was just their thoughts and their belief. Orochimaru's curse mark was complex, and his soul fragment inside of it was a big thing that will prevent Minato from getting rid of it. So he will have Sasuke one way or another. Those eyes, those wonderful eyes. He would like to get his hands on the body of Uzumaki, but even Orochimaru knew not to tempt the devil, as the devil was one that never let you get away. He knew the horrors of those monsters, so he would not dare to try to mess with them, because he would not survive. His sensei had told him about that when he was very younger, but his sensei was now a thing of the past, so that was not important. What was important was Konoha downfall. That brought a grin to his face. He would have liked to hire a few Uzumakis to help him, but they did not go up against any of the major nations. But it did not matter, he will get what he wanted. Meanwhile, at the Uzumaki land, Naruto stepped out of the shower. The moment he did, he reached as he pressed the button on the wall. Seals on the wall started to glow, connected to said button. As pressurized air came out and dried him from head to toe, his hair included. Seals were truly magnificent. As Naruto went to get dressed, today was a big day. It was gonna be awesome. But guys, be and subscribe right here for the next part to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm off and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.